I have finally joined the Projector Sewing Pattern Club, and it is probably one of the best and most exciting things that I have ever done for my sewing space. I've spent the last week troubleshooting this and just getting my setup as perfect as I could for my space. And this has truly been such a game changer. I've been working on prototyping my next sewing pattern, which I am super excited about. It's going to be super fun and flirty and perfect for summer, which if you follow me on Instagram, you're probably aware that I am currently enrolled in the Confident Pattern Making course, which has just been super fun, and I'll be sure to make a whole other vlog dedicated to that course. That course gave me a lot more exposure to the projector game. So my total cost for this whole setup was under $200. I bought the projector used off of eBay. The TV stand I got off of Amazon, and that was about $50. And then I did have to spend another $20 on a 20-foot USB-C to HDMI cable. It's really important that you are using a high quality cable, because if you don't, the projector might not work. I actually used two other HDMI cords that I had with a converter, and I actually could not get the image to display from my computer to the projector. So that's really important. And then of course, it's going to be really important to pick a projector that works for your space. So this is considered an ultra short throw projector, UST, and you can see that the distance between the projector and the table is quite short. So I didn't want to deal with mounting a projector to my ceiling or anything like that, so that's why I went with this, because I can move it around, it just stands on the ground. It's just what I decided worked well for my sewing process and my sewing space. Now for my projector, I kind of just bought the first one that I saw on the eBay account. I didn't do a lot of research, so don't be like me, do more research. But I did get an Epson Powerlight, and it is the 475W. I don't really know what that means. I think the most important thing when selecting your projector and making sure that it works with the TV stand is making sure that you're going to have a way to mount the back of the projector to the TV stand, because these two things were not made for each other, so you kind of have to do a little bit of a workaround. Some people get some wood and they mount that to the back of the projector and then mount the TV stand to that. Really, I just kind of got creative with the arms on the back of this and did my best to get the projector level, because it's really important that the projector is level, or else you will end up with wonky pattern pieces. So let me show you what that looks like. Here you can see the arms are doing some wild things. Now on a regular TV, those arms are spread out evenly to evenly distribute the weight, but I don't have that option here. So here you can see this arm actually doesn't attach to anything. You can see here I've got two arms going into the same bolt there. This arm comes out this way. So if you're going the TV stand route, you might have to get a little creative. But there is also a Facebook group that I'm going to link down to below that I recommend you join. There's about 75,000 people in that Facebook group. So I would really recommend reading through their FAQ and looking at all the different pictures and seeing what people are doing for their sewing space, because this type of projector might not be best for you, but it worked for me. I also just kind of bought one and was like, whatever, I'll make it work. So I'll provide a link to the eBay store that I bought this projector from. This did have a brand new light bulb installed in it, but it's definitely used. So it's got some scuffs on it. I used a magic eraser and tried to get it as clean as I could, but to me, it doesn't really matter how clean it is, because projectors brand new are very, very expensive, thousands of dollars, and I got this with shipping for $101. So that's a steal, and opening this package up was just really exciting. So spending under just $200, I mean, for some people that's the same cost as their sewing machine, and it can seem like an expensive upgrade, but you have to remember that you're also going to be saving on printer paper cost and ink, and the time that it takes you to tape together all those different sewing patterns. So personally, I'm such a big fan, and I was so excited to film this video and share it with you guys. Another really cool resource that I'm using, that again I will link to, is PROJECTORpattern.com. PROJECTORpattern.com is the easiest way, in my opinion, to calibrate this projector. And when you calibrate it, You basically just take a measurement. So if you have a big cutting mat or you have a big acrylic ruler like I do here, you put it down on your surface and the website will walk you through on how to calibrate the projection so that when you project your sewing pattern, it's all to the right scale. Projector pattern is really cool, and this whole process is actually really helpful if you have a wireless keyboard, because then I can get close and make sure that these points are aligned. But all I'm doing is aligning this square within the software to the actual ruler on my table, which this is my cutting table. And that tells the projector, tells the software how to project the sewing pattern so that it is to scale on my cutting table. Here you can see I just pulled out a sample piece of fabric, and it's kind of hard to see. It's daytime and this fabric is quite dark, but you can start to see that triangle shape project onto the fabric. This software also has the ability for you to invert the colors. So here you can see now it's projected on a dark background with green, or I could even toggle that to white, and that makes it a little bit easier for you to see what you are doing. Hard to capture on camera, very easy to see in person. Another tip that I have, I find it much easier to actually trace the shapes that are projected onto my fabric before I start cutting. It is technically an extra step, but it's a lot faster than printing my sewing patterns and taping them all together. And I do have to say, it is on my to-do list to convert all of my available sewing patterns to projector files. Although I will say that there are websites out there, Projector Pattern has a resource as well, how you can take any PDF sewing pattern and make it work for a projector. The main difference is that when you're working with a projector, you do not cut pattern pieces on the fold. You lay your fabric out completely flat and then cut out your pattern pieces. I hope that was helpful and insightful, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I will do my best to help, or at least get you pointed in the right direction. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to see the next video.